Hey y'all, I'm Linda. This is the Qi Body and Spirit team. Today we're going to do a downward facing dog breakdown. So let's everybody come to your down dog. I like to start in plank, and when I measure plank, I make sure that my shoulders are over my wrists. I do that by what Dr. Tay just did, measuring the middle fingers. So bring the middle fingers to touch, rotating back out. That way you know your shoulders are aligned over the wrist. And with feet, bringing the heel over the ball of the foot. That's how you measure hips width distance. There are many different ways to come into down dog. Some people come from tabletop, so be a shorter down dog. I like to measure from plank. So from plank, light bend in the knees, hips high, downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, you want to make sure it's an archetype of an equilateral triangle. So you want your weight in your hips, making sure that the weight's not in your shoulders, so finding an internal rotation at the shoulders. Nice, and you can put a little bend in the knees. A gentle bend in the knees helps with the curvature in the spine, again, taking the weight out of the shoulders so that you're holding yourself up from the hips. And when you're in your down dog, you can test its integrity by placing one hand on your sacrum. So place your right hand on your lower back, testing the integrity of your down dog, making sure you could still hold the down dog without shifting the weight, even though you're adjusting the foundation. And switch hands. Beautiful. And from downward facing dog, typical transition is rolling into upward facing dog. Many different ways to roll into this back bend. Traditionally, it's done tops of the feet on the ground, thighs off the ground. I like to do it with the toes tucked. That way, you have a boundary, so you don't sink into the depths. So another way to practice upward facing dog is to have two blocks right underneath the tops of the thighs. And that's what I mean by not sinking into the depths, because sometimes when I see people practice up dog, you sink all the way down, and then you see they sink into their lower back, which prevents the energy from traveling all the way to the crown of the head. So having this boundary to practice your up dog, therefore you can easily bring the lungs forward. Yeah, finding the width of the collarbones. Shift the wrists back underneath the shoulders. There you go. Always playing with your stability. Bringing the fingers straight ahead. So right now your wrists are open to the side. Nice. Beautiful. And then keeping the feet hips width distance. So walking the toes a little closer together. Nice. And a great transition here is coming back into downward facing dog, hips high, hinging from the hips. So bringing it forward, rolling it back. Inhale, up dog, exhale, down dog. This is a great hip mobility exercise. People's tendency is to use their shoulders to roll forward, but I like to think of it as a hip hinge. And bringing it forward, upward facing dog. Nice. Thanks for joining us.